Hello and welcome to Aha Moments. This one is entitled Quantum Health Leap and dated August 28th. That is when the original Aha Moment Monday went out. If you are on the list, subscribed, then you would have gotten that Aha Moment Monday at 8 a.m. Eastern, as we do every single Monday morning, and have for probably 8 or 9 years by now. I'm amazed that we keep cranking that out every week. So I hope you're enjoying them. And let's talk about aha moments. What is an aha moment? What is that light that hits you, that all of a sudden there's just like this little light bulb above your head that goes bing, and something illuminates, right? You get something differently than what you did before. That's what Aha Moment Mondays are all about. They're taking typical circumstances that you would have experienced or seen or heard, and looking at it in a little different way, just shifting perspective a little bit. So I'm going to read through the one that was posted on August 28th, and then we'll just have a minute to just go over some of the important parts of it. And I look forward to your comments. Okay, ready? Here we go. Have you ever heard the term quantum biology? With the impending confusion this fall with regards to what it will take to protect our precious bodies and enjoy optimal health, let's have a macro talk about keeping health simple. I will insert Rachel Maurice, MD's explanation of quantum biology, since she's the one who is masterful, in my opinion, at uncomplicating the complicated. In her words, we are creatures that live in a physical body made up of body parts. These parts can be broken down into organs, which are made up of tissues and ultimately cells. Each cell has components such as molecules, enzymes, and organelles like mitochondria. When we look even deeper, we see that every molecule within us is comprised of atoms. Each atom has protons, neutrons, and electrons, which we refer to as subatomic particles, and signals to our biology processes are run primarily by physics. In brackets, she puts biophysics. Let's take sunlight, for example. Sunlight is comprised of a spectrum of magnetic frequencies that span from infrared through the invisible spectrum to ultraviolet light. Infrared light makes up about 50% of the solar radiation. Infrared A light impacts every single mitochondria to improve its efficiency to produce energy. Who doesn't want more energy? Aside from simply having more energy, you can improve the function of organ systems, hormone regulation, even slow down aging, and much more. All of this can happen just by the mere act of getting more natural light into your eyes, especially at sunrise and sunset. Aha! Changes at the subatomic scale to these minuscule particles have massive effects on the macro scale. Translation: small changes yield big results. So, macro, desire for healthy physical body. Micro, learn the needs of the subatomic particles that comprise your body. And back to the macro, expose yourself to sunlight to receive more energy, plus. How easy is that? The current model uses biochemistry. When you dive more deeply into this new paradigm, you recognize the profound effects the Earth's energy has on our well-being and the positive health changes you can enjoy by tapping in. Quick story, when my son was at the Canadian Junior Golf Championships years ago, he had a bike accident the night before the final round. His knee all stitched up and him in pain. He played a phenomenal final round. However, by the time we got home, a 4.5-hour plane ride the next day, his cut had become infected. Off to the walk-in clinic we went, only for the seasoned doctor to suggest that my son elevate his leg higher than his heart for 3 days. No ointments or treatments, I asked? No, he replied. We don't have a sweet clue how the body works. We just know it does. Give your body what it needs, and it will reward you every day afterwards. Whoa, how's that? So quantum biology, taking a quantum leap in quantum biology. Now, Rachel Maurice is someone who introduced me. She is a medical doctor, but now hasn't been practicing in the medical system for the last couple of years because of all of the mandates and protocols. And she is certifying herself in a number of different ways from a natural healing perspective. One of her studies is with Dr. Jack Kruse around sunlight. If you study with Dr. Jack Kruse, now he went down a rabbit hole probably 15, 16 years ago, and I've watched a number of his videos, and when Dr. Maurice exposed me to him, I found him very technical, and that's why I love her. She will uncomplicate the complicated, and he speaks most of the time like he's speaking to medical people. So he uses all the terminology and everything. If you don't speak that language, sometimes it's difficult to understand. The odd interview, he will break it down maybe in a little more simpler terms, but I had to do that work and understanding about mitochondria, understanding how the body receives sunlight, and to the extent of it making a significant difference with our health. Now, Dr. Maurice, in what I encapsulated from some of the work that she's put out, is the fact that sunrise, sunset are probably the best times to get out and get that spectrum of light. But the point being is that from the time that the sun arrives, is that all through the day there is the blend of different kinds of light, and we need all of them. And so being exposed to daylight more often is so healing for us. So what has happened, and this is why I said at the beginning of the AHA, we prepare ourselves for the fall, is the fact that in the fall, they are already talking about bringing back some of the mandates and protocols that we had in 2020 and 2021. And there is no scientific sound evidence or backing for any of it. And so we need to learn to take care of our own bodies, which means we didn't come with a handbook, but we came with the intelligence to be able to do the research to understand who we are and what we're made up of. I'm not suggesting that you need to get a doctorate in this by any stretch of the imagination. However, we need to understand some of the basics, which is sunlight, water, and the earth are where we get our energy. So we can't survive for any length of time without sunshine. We need sunshine. So if you're especially in the northern hemisphere where it's colder in the winter time and it gets dark at 5 o'clock and the sun doesn't come up until around 7, very, very little natural light. If you work in an office during the daytime, you're exposed to a lot of blue light and not sunlight. Blue light is very damaging. So that's why the glasses that I wear are actually blue blockers. Now they have a little bit of enhancement, so they help me to read a little easier, but I also have blue blockers that I normally will wear in the evening time especially. Now, I'm not a big fan of overhead light in the evening whatsoever. I know Dr. Kruse goes to candles in the evening, and he supports and encourages you to align yourself with your circadian rhythm, which is getting up when the sun gets up and going to bed when the sun goes to bed. I don't know about you, I'm not that good at that. I get up probably a little bit later and go to bed a little bit later, but I'm doing my best to modify. Some of the things that I have been doing is in the morning. I wasn't a breakfast eater for a really long time because I like to have a fairly long fast period before my first meal and give my body plenty of time to digest the evening. However, I'm okay with doing around a 12-hour right now, getting high protein, just some scrambled eggs, some beef bacon, onions, mushrooms, maybe some 1% cottage cheese, something like that. High protein and getting out in the sun as early as I can in the morning and getting that first dose of sunshine. I also go out periodically during the day, which is something that I haven't done over the years. Once I'm at work, it's almost like a badge of honor that I say that they, especially in the winter time, that I say, I'll go 5 days without sunlight. Like, it's like, oh, somehow, I earned that. And realizing the damaging effect of that, of a lot of blue light, no sunlight, and and connection with other people. So I just want to put out sort of a little bit of warning bells here to make sure that, you know, that we really take the time to understand who we are, how we work, and be very clear that we require the Earth's energy. I walk barefoot on the grass as often as I can, and pretty much every day, get outside at some point and do some walking on the grass, standing on the grass, whatever. You know, water, it's not as easy for me to get to a beach, but I mean, I do try and get to water when I can, even if it's just visually. But you know, those are the three elements that we really need. We need to sustain our energy. So how do you feel in the wintertime when it gets dark and you don't get outside, you don't get sunshine, and it's cold and you can't really expose your skin? You know, it's very, it can be draining, right? So we have sun lamps and different things that we try and replace that energy with. However, there's nothing that can replace the Earth's energy. So sunshine, water, feet on the ground. When you look at my book, which is out now, the pre-sale is happening right now, pre-launch. You can jump on board for that, and the book will be ready in about a month. But you know, there is a chapter on that specifically where we go a little more in depth, and we're going to keep talking about that because it's just so important. So we need to, you know, don't restrict your breathing, don't wear anything. There's nothing there's absolutely no evidence whatsoever anywhere that says, you know, wearing a face covering, you know, protects you from any of the so-called airborne pathogens that they're talking about. So all you're doing is breathing in carbon dioxide, your CO2, which is toxic to people, and you're creating a petri dish of bacteria with something on your face for that length of time. So you know, it can affect your breathing, it can affect the oxygen levels that are going to your brain. It has oppression written all over it. So we need to express ourselves. We need to breathe nice clean air, nice deep breaths, feet on the ground, face in the sun, and let that water caress you. Absolutely. Okay, so that's how we're going to go into the fall, taking good care of our own health, being as natural as we can, reducing the toxins, releasing whatever it is that doesn't work for us, and do your best. Okay, just do your best. Even the macro, micro, you know, about making one small change can make a huge difference. So, and of course, a lot of these changes have cumulative effects. So, you know, one small change. Okay, let's commit to that. All right. Okay. I hope you're having a great day. I look forward to chatting with you next week. Succeed deliberately.